Tjena grabben.
Hey guys.
How are you doing?
Good. I can hear myself, so...
You're not supposed to be hearing yourself on the other end.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Roger?
I can hear you perfectly. How are you guys doing?
Very good, very good. How are you feeling after yesterday?
Feel good, you know. A little bit tired, a little bit of muscle pain, of course, but not too bad. I arrived in good shape and I'm ready to go on Wednesday again.
Perfect, perfect.
We have been thinking a lot, me and Thomas, and we actually realized that me and Thomas have something in common that you don't have. We have a title in Stockholm Open. Will that be something that you consider to try to change?
I'd love to, yeah. I mean, I've tried already hard a few times. I've tried qualifying, I've tried main draw, and it's never worked out. And then 2 years ago I was supposed to play as well, but the schedule was too rough and I was too tired to make it. So that was disappointing, and it's one of the big reasons I'm happy really to come back this year and give my best shots. I can also be on the same cup like you two guys.
Good, good, good. We're going to hand over for some questions.
Sure.
So you will be ready.
Hi Roger, my name is Jonas. You have played 250 tournaments this year, I suppose. How many more will you play before Stockholm Open?
How many more 250s you mean?
Yeah.
Let me think. No, I think this is going to be the first. This is going to be one after Shanghai, and after that I'm going to play the Basel tournament as well, which is going to be a 500 though. So Stockholm is the only 250 left for me this year.
Hi Roger. What made you choose to play Stockholm Open originally? Why did you want to play simply this tournament?
Well, I've had some good experiences in Stockholm, obviously, and with the tradition in Sweden, with the great tennis players, Stefan Edberg, for instance, being my idol growing up, and having friends such as Thomas and Jonas running the tournament. I've always felt very welcome at that event. Really made me want to come back. Look, I wanted to come back 2 years ago really badly, but it just couldn't make it, so that was disappointing for me, and I always felt like I owned Stockholm, you know, a comeback again, you know, and this is why this year I had a slot open. I'd like to play, you know, one extra week, and I chose it was going to be Stockholm, so I'm very excited. Also playing at Kungligar, it's a different type of a setup for the players. It's at a tennis club, not so much a huge stadium. I think it's very intimate, and that's very exciting for me, and I'm really looking forward to coming back.
Hi Roger. You used to have a Swedish trainer for many years. What's your relation to Sweden and the country and all this?
Well, I worked with Peter Lundgren before when I was younger. That was a very good experience. I've been very fortunate in my career of having very good coaching. I think also that I became such a good player. I've not been to Sweden that often except for the tournaments really, but because I know Jonas and Thomas and many of the great players, also traveling with Bjorn Borg at the end of the year a couple of years ago was interesting. You know, they all tell you things about Sweden, and at the end we're not that different. You know, we're both kind of a small country with a strong tradition for sports and winter sports as well, but then also tennis. And yeah, so I like the people as well. They're very friendly always, and very open once you get to know them. A bit more reserved, you know, in the first place, like we in Switzerland. So I think I feel very welcome again.
Can you tell us about the negotiations? Did they just call up and you said, yeah?
I wish it was that easy, you know, but they told me, look, is there a chance you could play? I was like, I don't know, it's been already a tough year, but after thinking about it, I really wanted to add one more tournament, and once that really, I talked to the team about it, that it's something I want to do. I called up Thomas and Jan and said, you know, I really would like this to sort of work out for us, and they started to see what was possible from their side, and I said, I'm ready to go if you guys want, and I'm happy we were able to do it. And obviously, because I didn't play 2 years ago, that was an important thing for me to give them the #1 priority, so that I could go back to Stockholm, not some other place.
So the reason you had to cancel late 2 years ago did have an impact on your decision?
Did it have an impact on?
On your decision coming this year, that you had to cancel 2 years ago?
I mean, yes. I do remember, holding promises, and I don't like pulling out of tournaments just because it doesn't make me feel good. It's something actually I've been trying to be a good role model for, because I don't like when players sign in and then pull out again. And when I do pull out, it's really because of not a perfect reason, but because of a legitimate reason, and that's why I was very disappointed of not pulling out, and so that was definitely one of the big reasons also why I wanted to come back, and also get a chance to see how Thomas and Jonas do the job. I need to see how they do their first year as tournament directors. It's going to be interesting.
Okay, thanks.
What do you say about his chances to become #1 again? I mean, you have all the points from US Open, the final, and then next year the win in Australia. What do you say about your chances to become #1?
Well, I mean, I definitely have to win the US Open and have to almost win the Masters, the World Tour Finals in London. But then again, I don't need to be world #1 like tomorrow. It's a long hard working process to get back there, and that's what also Rafa had to go through. You have to sometimes be very patient. It's not something that comes around very quickly. If you play great, the other guy still has a word to say as well, and it's something I'm definitely aiming for, is again to get back to world #1 at some stage. It all depends how Rafa plays, how I play, how other guys play, like Murray, for instance, now also, who just won last week in Toronto. So it's not going to get any easier, but now being on hard courts for the next 8 months or 9 months or so, I'm very excited, very confident that I will be doing really well.
Hi Roger, how would you summarize your season so far?
How I summarize up my season?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I started incredibly well. I think I played some of the best tennis of my life in Australia. It was a dream how everything came together so early in the season, and maybe the long infection did throw me back a little bit too much, but I was a bit unfortunate in Indian Wells and Miami, losing 2 matches there with match points, because getting through those, maybe you don't know what happens at the back end of the tournament, so that was a bit of a disappointment. And then the clay court season, was rather short. I only played 3 events of 4. I played actually really well in Madrid, ran into Rafa at the end, and he was a dominant guy on that surface, and obviously Robin played fantastic during the French Open, tough conditions, rain and stuff. Actually, I played through rain 3 or 4 times during the clay court season, which maybe didn't help me because I was maybe lacking a bit of confidence. But look, I didn't think I played all that bad. I thought it was made up more by the press. And then Wimbledon obviously was disappointing. I couldn't win there, but physically I had some issues there. Berdych played another good match, and maybe I was just not at 100%. But I gave myself a chance, and after all, I still played quarterfinals there. And here we are now in the hardcourt season. So it's been a bit disappointing since the Australian Open. If I consider myself aiming for the title every single week, but I still feel like the tennis has not been that bad, and I'm really excited to be turning it around, because I've been doing a lot of hard work now since Wimbledon, and physically and mentally I'm really fresh again.
Both Robin Söderling and Thomas Berdych will be playing in Stockholm as well. What are your views on the competition in the tournament?
Yeah, it doesn't help the cause, to win the tournament, but I like challenges, and I think it's great that Söderling is going to be playing, and hopefully also Berdych. It's nice to have strong competition at the end of the day. They make me a better player as well. I try hard to beat those guys, but they're big and strong and hit harder and harder now, and I have to try to find a way to beat those guys. But I hope it's going to be a really nice tournament with hopefully sell-out crowds, and with that I'm going to be part at the end of the weekend to be playing for the titles, and then hopefully I can play some Swedish guys. I think that will be making it very special, but regardless, I hope I can really play some good tennis coming to Stockholm this year.
Have you any thoughts to start to work with a coach again for a long-term basis?
With Paul Anacon, we're in test phase still. He came to Switzerland for about 9 days. He then also now just showed up in Toronto, so we've been together for the last 3 weeks. He's not going to be here in Cincinnati this week. He might come back again to the US Open. My coach from Switzerland is here, Severin Lüthi. He's doing the Cincinnati tournament with me, who I'm also continuing to work with. And maybe we'll work something out with Paul, towards the US Open for maybe a long-term basis. But at the moment we're talking about it. So far it's been going good, so that's a good sign. He's a nice guy. He's been able to help me already, so I'm happy how the relationship's been going.
Hi again, Roger. You talked about being fit and ready and to play. You're nowadays also a father. How about do you get your night's sleep?
I do get my night's sleep. Yes, thanks for asking. It has definitely changed a little bit, the last year or so. But honestly, I think the transition has been actually very good. I was expecting it to be much harder on the family with the traveling and the nights of sleeping and everything, but didn't have to cut back on tournament play. I didn't have to cut back on practice, and really I have a wonderful team around me. My wife is obviously amazing, with the kids, especially with twin girls. That's a lot of hard work, and I try to have as much as I can and enjoy it. Being a father, it's something that's been very nice for me as a person. And I think it's also actually in a way helped my tennis. Maybe the results haven't been as good as they've been maybe 3-4 years ago, but I still feel like it's given me a great sense of feeling on the court to practice. I'm always very motivated, and that's definitely a very good thing looking ahead for the next few years.
Okay, thanks.
Everyone is satisfied here, Roger, so we appreciate that you took the time to sit down with us, and we will see you in New York, and we wish you all the best for the upcoming weeks, Cincinnati first and the US Open. Tack så mycket.
Thanks guys for making this happen. I'll see you in Stockholm. Jonas and Thomas will see you in New York. Take it easy, guys.
You too. Family as well.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Kanon! Några fler frågor? Är ni nöjda? Ja.